Okay, this is going to be a quick video on line graphs. You've used line graphs before, and I'm just going to give a quick overview about kind of how line graphs are similar to bar graphs and histograms, because we're spending a lot more time on bar graphs and histograms. So this is actually a real bar graph that shows, this was a budget from my bank. I think it was for restaurants or something like that. And what it does is it shows the amount of money and time. Most often line graphs, if you Google line graphs, you're going to see lots of examples with money and time because they're a really good graph to use for those types of things. Or how things, just in general, how things change over time. Line graphs are very good for that. This graph in particular is showing, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see, this is showing, you can see on the bottom there's the dates, and these green spikes right here, these green spikes represent adding money to the budget. So a lot of times if you have a budget, you're not going to add money to your budget every single day. You know, I'd get paid or something and I would go, okay, I'm going to put this much money in this budget and this much money in this budget. But then, you know, you notice these red along the bottom, that's how much I was spending. So that kind of goes up and down. Some days I spend more, some days I don't spend anything. The real example I wanted to show you was this dotted blue line. This dotted blue line is showing the change in the overall budget balance over time. So you can actually see how whenever I put money in, where there are these green spikes, when I added money to the budget, that budget balance all of a sudden shoots up. And then as you spend money, representing this red over time, you know, you're spending money and your budget balance is dropping down. And then add more money, shoots way back up, and it goes down over time. Add more money, it goes down over time. So line graphs are really good for measuring things over time like this. An important thing to notice is that we really read these the same exact way as a bar graph. So technically you could make a bar for all of these dates. You could have, you know, this could be a bar, then you could have a really tall bar, then you could have a kind of like a bar here, and then you could keep making bars, but it just looks a lot nicer to just draw it with a line. It's much less color, it's much less going on, and it looks a lot cleaner. But the other thing is sometimes you'll see dots. Not all line graphs have dots, but some of them will have dots that help you track things. But you read these the same exact way. So you could think on January 29th, you know, here's that line, go across. There was a little bit, maybe about $100, a little bit more. You know, on January 11th, that's way up here, there's about 300. You could look, if I scroll way over here, you can see, you know, March 23rd, March 23rd, there's about, go across, about maybe $75, $80. You read them the same way. It's just represented with a line instead of a bunch of bars right next to each other going up and down.